Hey, this is Will Power, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICB fans, to another episode of the Indie Sports Car Podcast. Hey, Mizzy.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, Chris?
Nothing much. Beautiful day here in the racing capital of the world.
That's right. Williamstown, New Jersey. Yep.
That's not the racing capital of the world.
No, it's
Indianapolis.
It
Indiana.
is the opiate overdose capital of the world, actually. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Gloucester County of New Jersey was ranked number 1 in last year's tallies of overdoses from October to December last year. So, yay, Gloucester County, baby. Hell yeah. If you're gonna if you're gonna do something, you might as well be the best at it.
Right.
Now that something might be ethically not, ethically frowned upon, really. I frown upon it. However, we're still number 1, so me.
A win is a win. Right?
Hey, everybody else is just, second place. That means they lost when we won. Heck yeah.
There you go.
So, I just want to thank all the large number of idiots that live in a very close proximity. That's not even a word. Of me. So I'm really happy to know that. Yep. It makes me feel so much more comfortable while I'm driving our safe streets of Gloucester County. Okay, moving on. The racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, Indiana. You're a very lucky man, Christian. Yeah, you have a beautiful home, I must say. I do like the paneling, the colors of the paneling of the outside. I really do enjoy, the outside of your house. Like what it looks like. And it's so close to the track, it's insane.
It is. That's my favorite part.
Yep.
That's my favorite part.
We will.
But I'm excited to be taking off from the wintry, frozen tundra of Indianapolis, Indiana. It's currently snowing right now, actually, and making my way down to St. Petersburg, Florida, and the Grand Prix. I'm super excited for that, man. So
now you are going to come over. My mother's house for dinner, right? I mean, I already told her it will be the 3 of us. So she's making sure that she's making enough pasta for everybody.
Yeah, I'm diabetic, so
is she.
The pasta thing isn't gonna work for me.
No, she's diabetic as well. See,
well,
her pasta.
the pasta's not gonna work for me though.
No. She
can have it if you like.
She makes diabetic pasta on the side for herself.
Oh, yeah. Was it like the wheat stuff?
I don't know. I'm not a diabetic. I don't know what it's called. I just know it's her own stuff. That it's because she's diabetic. She, it's got, it's like, I guess it's got the sugar-free stuff in it. Sugar-free pasta stuff. I don't know. And she doesn't use any red sauce or any of that stuff. It's like a white, buttery kind of thing. But it's diabetic butter. And there you go.
Okay. All right.
Because I told her you were diabetic, and she's a diabetic now. She's been diabetic my whole life.
Well, there you go. Type 1, type 2?
Not sure.
Take shots of insulin?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not since I've lived with her, but I haven't lived with her in 20 some odd years. So. I'm not really sure. And she lives in Tampa, so I don't see her enough to ever really. Plus, I don't ask, honestly. I don't know. If people want to volunteer things to me, that's one thing, but I don't pry. You know. That, okay. So yeah, yeah. Racing. Right on. Racing. Tampa Bay. Can't wait.
That's why we're going.
Yep.
That's why we're going.
Oh, there it is. Yep. You know what? A minute early. That SOB. Anyways,
Right.
Missy, what do you think is the most important story to start with?
Um, I guess the LED panels being introduced again, starting first race.
Well, I mean, did they go away for the whole season after the Indy 500, or were they just taken off just for the Indy 500?
No, I think they only did 4 races last year with them,
Because I
and there
could,
was a lot of problems, so they nixed it.
yeah, because I could have sworn they just took them off for the Indy 500, but I could be 100% wrong. But
Um,
which, and knowing my track record, I'm sure
they
I
were
am.
ditched 4 rounds into the 2018 season due to performance inconsistency.
And so, what are the new, like, I mean, yeah, they're going to be bringing it back, but they're also adding new features to it that they didn't have before, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same. You're going to have the driver's current running position on there, and then you're going to be able to see when they're using a push to pass again, and then timing for the car's pit stops is also going to be back, and then I think the things that is new is that if the car's engine is running, the left side LED will display a green snake moving from bottom to top, and the right side display will show what gear the engine is in. It'll be 0 for neutral and so on. If the engine is not running, the left side LED will display horizontal red bars climbing from bottom to top, and the right side LED will display what gear the engine is in. I guess to help with the safety team when they're coming up on
Yeah,
disabled
because
cars, to know whether they're running or not. Or
so and also the gears. So when they so the guy in the back doesn't start the engine up when it's stuck in reverse, that would be bad. Or even like third or second or whatever, and it just rips the, you know what I mean? You want it in neutral. So, um, but yeah, no, that's really smart to be honest with you. As far as safety goes, I think that I like honestly, I would say the safety guys benefit the most from this from this uh, from these changes. Christian, what do you think?
Yeah, it just makes it easier for everybody to communicate, and it's a cool extra bonus for the spectator watching. So I appreciate it. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you IndyCar for.
Yeah, I mean, like definitely, like it's just good, to see them doing more with what they already have to make things safer for the most important people that are at the track that aren't behind the wheel, in my opinion.
Right.
So, yep, definitely. Missy, what do you think?
I'm glad it's back. I liked it when it was in effect.
Yeah, I mean, it
Knowing
did.
when they're doing a push to passes and knowing who's in what place, and seeing a car that's mixed in the middle of drivers, and you're like, oh no, he's a lap down.
Right.
Yeah, like and being at so many races, like those LED lights were so helpful, weren't they? Like I didn't think they'd be helpful at first. I was like, oh, big deal. I mean, like I have my phone, I can figure out what's going on. But but then I ate my words. I think it was Mid Ohio is when it really came in handy. The first year they had it out because
Mm.
there's really no good spot. to go on Mid Ohio where you can see any sort of screen that tells you anything at all. To be honest, but yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to have him back, and again, the extra added features to it were smart. I think. I don't know. What's the next thing that happened?
I guess you can talk about IndyCar revised the Indy 500 qualifying procedure.
Definitely want to get into this. So, Missy, what's the bullet points? And this is by David Malsher, correct?
Yeah, the article I'm going from, yes.
For real.
So there's going to be and there's still going to be the Friday night is still going to be the traditional draw. There's going to be a 90-minute practice starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday, May 18th. And I believe there's going to be roughly between 36 to 37 cars this year. They'll all participate in the qualifying. And again, the first run's defined by the traditional draw held on Friday night. Once everyone has completed their guaranteed single 4-run laps, the track will open for more attempts until 5:50 p.m., weather and time permitting. Let's see, they have the order at the end of the session will decide who will take part in the Fast 9 shootout on Sunday, and will also define the order of positions 10 through 30. Those competitors from P10 through P30 will not requalify the next day, which was the principal change for the schedule. On Sunday morning, there will be a 30-minute practice session for the 9 cars competing for the pole, followed by a 30-minute practice for the expected 6 or 7 cars that are vying for the final 3 slots on the back row of the grid. Then you have at 12:15 p.m. the last row qualifying will begin, and the order is set by the original Friday night draw, with just 1 attempt allowed per car. And then at 1:15 p.m. the Fast 9 shootout for the pole will commence, with cars running in the order of the Saturday times, slowest to fastest. And again, just 1 run is permitted per entry. At an hour after that, 3:15, the track will reopen for a 2-hour and 45-minute practice session for all 33 cars that qualified. And then there will also be a practice for the 33 cars on Monday, May 20th from 12 to 2. They also have, it doesn't pertain to that, but NBC will be covering the Sunday shootouts for the last 3 grid spots and for the pole. And then NBCSN will broadcast the Sunday afternoon practice. And there you have it. Those are the changes for qualifying weekend.
All right. Okay. So do we hate it? Do we love it?
I like it. I think it'll be pretty interesting. Because before, I'm trying to think, last year, or I guess the years prior, it was the Fast 9 competed on Sunday, but then the rest of everybody else competed on Sunday too for their position.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it was previously?
I'm trying to think now, because I remember last year, everybody was saying how much this doesn't make sense in the least. And this just sounds a lot more logical.
I'm actually okay with it. Position 10 through 30 is going to be decided on Saturday, and then your Fast 9 and see who gets bumped. Because I guess compared to last year on Saturday when, you had James Hinchcliffe get bumped on Saturday, Sunday was kind of really it was like a, sober day. It was just like, oh God.
Well, yeah, because, IndyCar really had, a good opportunity to continue some drama going for the next day, so to get people to watch twice, and they totally screwed the pooch on that one. So this year they're not doing that, and they learned from their lessons, I'm sure. So yeah, definitely.
So I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else is going on in IndyCar land? I don't want to talk about Sage Karam, but I know he's racing this year. Moving on.
Well, we're going to. Sage
No,
Karam
who
has
cares?
Sage Karam is joining
Dry
forces
Ride
again
Bold.
with Dry Ride Bold Racing to
That's
enter the
moving
Indy
on.
500.
That's good for him. Happy for him. Deserves not to, but whatever.
He will be piloting the number 24, the Wix Filters sponsored Chevy engine.
He'll be getting bumped in the Wix filter entry. It'll be glorious.
Yes, so Sage Karam, yes, announced he will be running.
It's very easy to get bumped when every chassis you have, you crash it. Yeah.
And also, Pippa Mann has announced that she will be contesting the Indy 500 with Clausen Marshall Racing.
So Clausen Marshall and Sage will both teams be getting bumped this year. It's awesome.
And
it's awesome.
With a Chevy engine also.
2 Chevys getting bumped this year already. I can't believe it.
Rented from Foyt.
I know.
So that might be a difference for Pippa, obviously running in that Dale Coyne car before.
People have
maybe this is
David Land. David Land made the same argument, and I thought to myself, since when is that actually a positive? Because what has Foyt done in the past couple of years? But nothing at all. So that doesn't instill. If it was the Andretti chassis, then yeah, okay, I would say, you know what, they have a chance. But it's a Foyt chassis, so
it's arguably better than the Coyne, though. So
last year it was look.
The only person who can drive a Coyne car well is Seabass, but that's just on him being an awesome driver.
No, but my point being is Foyt was lower than Coyne the last couple of years. You can't say they weren't.
No, that's what I'm saying. Comparably, it's arguably.
They're arguably less, than Coyne.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's the chance maybe it's what she needs.
What, to be in a slower car?
To shake things up? No. No. But I do hope that IndyCar has fixed the stability issues that we faced last year.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was
because that was
their first race ever using it. You gotta work the kinks out of it, and I think they've done enough testing by now to where
it seems alright with Will Power.
Yeah, I mean, Will seemed to not have a problem with it at all. I don't know. Maybe it's everybody's skill, not the car. Just saying.
I would like to know if Stefan Wilson will be racing this year in the 500, since the Driven to Save Lives campaign is taken by Pippa.
Yeah,
that's that's her sponsor now. I guess.
Instead, Justin Wilson's brother, Pippa Mann is definitely the better choice there. Yep. She's definitely the better choice to get more people to pay attention. Sorry, Stefan, you're just not. Some would call her somewhat good looking. I think. She does it for some people. I think, right? I mean, what would she be on the Clydesdale scale to you, Christian?
The Clydesdale scale? I have no knowledge.
Moving on. I just wonder if Stefan's going to be racing in the 500, because he put out a tweet and it just doesn't sound like he's going to be racing at all this year.
Who, Stefan Wilson? No, because Pippa took a seat. It was either him or Pippa, and Pippa was chosen over him. He has no other funding to go to any other team to race. That's it. This was the only seat he could have had. It was either this or nothing, and it's nothing once again. And I seem to remember him getting bumped out for Fernando Alonso too, back in 2 years ago. Well, almost 2 years ago now. Yeah. So, Gabby Chavez and Stefan Wilson have a lot to talk about. Boy, can they relate to each other. Yep. Love to see Tristan Vautier out there. I just got to say it, And now I heard a source that I'm not gonna release the source or anything. However, a livery is being made for Pato Award for the Indy 500 at the very least so far. And that's all I'm gonna say. So, but for what team? No idea. As a matter of fact, I don't think there still is not a team that he's picked. So, but I mean, bottom line is he will be racing the Indy 500 at the very least, right? So, what team? Who knows?
Well, he's guaranteed 3 races at least.
That's what I mean. So he's guaranteed these races, and he's not going to miss the Indy 500. So, with what team? Who knows? However, he's going to have his livery already ready, and it's going to be that Pato Award livery, with that figure 8, but it's like in the infinity, like it looks like an infinity 8, but it's a PO. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I think it's cool looking, and he's going to be selling some merch. So guys, be on the lookout for PatoAward.com or whatever his website is, if he has one. I have no idea if he has one or not. As a matter of fact, let me check. Christian, anything coming up in next week for you, man?
No, just heading down to St. Petersburg, getting ready for my next talk as well, which is on the 13th here in Indianapolis. If anybody's free and available to go, it's a Sparks talk, and the topic is homelessness. So that's about it for me, man. Just trying to enjoy the race weekend. Both of my agents will be down there, so my engineer as well, and a couple of buddies. So we'll just try to make it a good weekend, man. Meet as many people as we can, collect some business cards. Hopefully those business cards turn into money down the road, and just doing what I can, man. So yeah. And soak up some of that Florida sunshine.
I think Pato has a merch thing going on through his Facebook, actually. So, at Patricio Award on Facebook. I think you can buy some merch there. And then you'll be able to see the P and the O with the neon green and red and all that. So, I'm not sure what the livery of the car is going to look like, but I think it's going to look pretty cool. I mean, I think his Indy Lights car was pretty close to that anyway. So, at any rate, I mean, he just got his new helmet painted, like the same type of livery with the green and the red and all. So that that makes a little bit of sense. Anyways, yeah, but on the Pato Award watch on where he's going to go, that's as much as we really know. I'm hoping Yuncos. That's what I'm hoping. Whether it will be Yuncos or not is a different story. How about this, Christian, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think it's going to happen for Yuncos, or with Yuncos?
I'm not sure, man. It's I don't have enough information on the topic to really say, but I do like their presence in the series, and hopefully Ricardo can keep churning out opportunities for people to drive. I really like what the team is about like what the principles of the team are about, and hopefully they get to stay around for a while.
Huh, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
Missy.
Yeah.
So what do you think from like 1 to 10? You know, Pato ended up at Yuncos, at least for the Indy 500.
I mean, it's a good possibility. There's not many choices left.
It's true.
Yunkos, maybe Carlin, maybe. I don't know.
Carlin. I think R.C. Anderson might have that seat now, or is it Charlie Kimball already? I don't know.
Well, Charlie Kimball's not racing a full season.
But doesn't he have the Indy 500? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it can't be for Carlin. He's only got 2 cars. Right. I mean, and like, did anything come out for R.C. Anderson? Is he going to be taking over the Carlin seat for the rest of the races that Kimball's not doing? Is that official yet?
I haven't heard anything.
Or should I have not just said that?
I haven't heard anything, but he's listed as a driver for Carlin on the IndyCar website.
Yeah, I really think that's going to be official real soon. That he's going to be, taking over the Carlin seat for the rest of the season for the races that Kimball doesn't do. So what races would they be, Missy?
All the road courses except for the GP, because I think that's.
Well, I mean, like, what's Kimball?
Kimball's doing the ovals.
Right, but not all of them, right?
No, I think he is doing all the ovals.
And then what road course? St. Pete?
I think it's St. Pete and the Indy GP.
He's not doing. He's. Why do I always forget about this race? He's not going to do Long Beach.
No, I don't believe so.
All right, so Anderson's probably going to be doing Long Beach. There's one. Okay, you see what I'm getting at here? help me out a little bit here. So,
here.
How about
tell
Barber?
You right now what Kimball is going to be doing. Kimball is going to be doing St. Petersburg. He will be doing the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway, Pocono Raceway. I said St. Pete and Laguna Seca. Those are the races he's doing.
Okay, so that leaves Anderson with Road America, Mid Ohio, Barber. It sounds like Long Beach. Detroit. Toronto, Gateway, and am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. Coda? Yeah, Coda. I mean...
Hey, Barber.
I already said that. Keep up, woman.
Iowa.
Oh, Iowa, there we go.
Portland.
Is Kimball doing Iowa at all?
Was that what I just said?
Is Kimball doing Iowa?
Was that what I just said?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
Oh. So, yeah, so there you go. Anderson could get Iowa. Who knows? That'd be cool.
It's possible. I mean, again, on IndyCar's website for the under drivers, he's listed as driving the number 23 for Carlin, which is the number 23 is what Kimball drives. So
that's what I mean. Like, it's just not official, but I'm feeling as though he's going to be taking that. Christian, what do you think, man?
I think it will be Anderson. Yeah.
Again, there has been nothing like this is pure speculation on my part. I want to preface that again. I have no inside information on that. It's just my feeling. It's just my gut feeling. But again, nothing has been officially, no one officially has said that. So, however, I would really love to see Anderson do that, so everybody can see how talented Anderson is, because he's got a lot of talent, man. He's really good.
There you go.
So, all right, what else, Bessie? Next news item on the list?
Oh, there wasn't much. That's pretty much it. Unless Fernando Alonso picked his car number for the Indy 500. He will not be the number 29.
He's going to be the 29?
No, he's not.
What is he?
He's going to be the number 66.
Oh, I thought you were about to say 69. Darn it.
Wow.
What?
Really, Frank?
What? It's a funny number.
Childish.
Because it's 6 and 9. Okay. 66, that's nasty. All right, moving on. Yep. Boy, do I want to say the foulest joke possible right now. But I won't say it, because it's a clean podcast.
Good.
At least we try to make it anyway. Missy, do you have the info?
Info of what?
I don't know.
There's no
Were we
other
waiting
news.
for something?
There's no other news that came out. We went over it.
Okay, great. Looking back on the news, what was the most exciting part of it, Christian?
Looking back on the news, the most exciting part. I'd have to be. There's
It was the most boring week of silly season ever.
It was.
Jeez, Louis.
I'm gonna go with Pippa. Was probably the most exciting thing for me.
I almost want to play the David Land. You know what? I'll just play. I almost wanted him to come on tonight. I talked to him yesterday. He said he might be able to, but he's been pretty busy. And YouTube is YouTube, so it is what it is. But I'm sure he won't mind. So everybody, check out David Land. He's probably the best IndyCar YouTuber out there, hands down. He's about the most contrarian IndyCar fan I've ever met in my life. But you know what? He makes some good points. So, Christian, just let me know if this is too loud or needs to be turned up. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to play a little bit.
One car was bumped. She qualified 28th position that year.
Sorry about that.
And we're going to...
Okay. Christian, you just heard that. Was that too loud?
No.
Okay. So basically, David Land, it's basically David and then Land. He's on YouTube. Check him out. As a matter of fact, I'll post this up under our Twitter. And Missy, where can they find that at?
On Twitter at ISCP Podcast 2Ps or www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
And where can we find our chemistry again? Is there a website for that? I'm kidding. All right, so let me see here. Basically, I will post this underneath our Twitter so you guys can watch the full video. Definitely hit subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time David releases another great, IndyCar video that I swear is made to just trigger everybody. That's what I love about him. Anyway, so here we go.
Talk about this in this video. But before we talk positive and try to lift Pippa up a little bit, I do want to talk a little bit about something that's a little bit, I guess we'll say interesting. I know I overused that word, but this is really interesting, exactly how all this came together and why Pippa ended up in this specific car with this specific sponsor. So you may remember that Driven to Save Lives was the primary sponsor of Stefan Wilson last year at Andretti Autosport. Wilson, of course, is also connected to the Driven to Save Lives campaign, as his brother Justin, who was unfortunately killed at Pocono in 2015, was also an organ donor and also helped save lives through organ donation. Because of that relationship with the Wilson family, they sponsored Stefan at the 2016 Indianapolis 500 with KV Racing. KV Racing folded at the end of 2016, and trying to get him a better ride, get him a better chance of winning the Indianapolis 500, Driven to Save Lives helped sponsor him and Andretti Autosport for the 2017 race. Unfortunately, there was a big old guy named Fred Nando Alonso who showed up and decided, hey, I would like to race for Andretti Autosport. So a convoluted plan was put in place that would move the money that Stefan had spent on his 2017 ride and would move it into the next year for 2018, still with the same team, Andretti Autosport. So on the bench, Stefan watched as Fernando Alonso took his car to the lead and eventually out of the race with an engine failure. And then in 2018, Wilson pretty easily qualified for the race in car number 25, Driven to Save Lives, and at the end of the race would actually be in contention for a victory. Even though it was on fuel mileage, no doubt about it, he could have possibly won the race if there had been a yellow flag before he had to make his final pit stop. But Driven to Save Lives, or at least the company that owns it, was not the only, or at least Stefan was not the only car that was sponsored by that company in last year's Indianapolis 500. They also sponsored Pippa Mann through their Donate Life campaign. Of course, Pippa Mann did not make the show, and many people will kind of question why Stefan Wilson was brushed over for Pippa Mann. Now, here's one more interesting little factoid about Pippa Mann and Stefan Wilson and Driven to Save Lives. In 2016, of course, Stefan Wilson drove for KV Racing. KV Racing, of course, folded at the end of that year. Stefan Wilson's car was sold, the one he raced in the Indianapolis 500 was sold at the end of that year to AJ Foyt Racing. That year in the Indianapolis 500, it raced with Zach Veach as a third entry from the AJ Foyt stable. The next year, it was leased out to Belardi Autosport along with Jonathan Bird and Hollinger Racing. That was driven by James Davison. And it's my understanding that the car that Pippa Mann will be using this year with Driven to Save Lives sponsorship will be the same chassis that carried Stefan Wilson in his rookie Indianapolis 500. Just a little bit of factoids and fun. I love chassis history, so I just kind of had to slip that in there. But I think there is a legitimate point that I'm trying to make here that I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility to make the assumption that the sponsor, Driven to Save Lives, had the majority say in who was piloting the car. So where was the decision made to put Pippa in this car over Stefan Wilson? Or was that a decision in the first place? It almost certainly had to have been. They had two drivers in last year's race, and they chose the driver who finished 35th and didn't even make the big show over a driver who was about 5 laps and a yellow flag away from winning the greatest spectacle in racing. I don't know. That's an interesting discussion to be had. I just figured I'd bring that up and kind of bring up the intertwined history of Pippa Mann and Stefan Wilson and this particular sponsorship. I think it's also good.
Okay. That's interesting in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
good points made by David.
I
like that guy.
Like by all accounts, Stefan Wilson earned that seat. I'm sorry. He even paid for it one year and still didn't get to drive it. Like Andretti, it's been getting tougher and tougher to really. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Moving on. So, what do you think, Missy, from all that?
Well, he raised some interesting points.
He always does. That's why, again, guys, David Land on YouTube. Check it out. That was only like 4 minutes of a 12-minute video. There was a lot more good points. I'm not just going to play his entire video. But I'm sure he'll have no problem with it. we're not stealing it. We're giving them all the due credit in the world, and that falls under fair use because we are critiquing it. So there you go. Moving on. So, is there anything else left? How about in the IMSA world? Anything happening in the IMSA world that's worth really caring about?
Brendan Hartley was added to the Action Express racing lineup for Sebring.
So the answer is no. Okay. How about the Formula One?
Well, Formula One is doing a lot of testing, I believe, aren't they? And somebody had a big crash today.
I hold on.
Pierre Gasly had a big crash in Barcelona.
Is he okay?
He was shaken, in quotations.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad he's all right. Yeah. Have you seen these weird rigs that are on that they've been strapping on these cars? They're so funny looking. They look like big radar dishes from World War II, trying to run a track. Yeah. I guess I'm the only one that's seen that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll tweet one out so you can see how ridiculous it looks. Anyway. Okay, so fair enough. How about this, guys? A 1 in 10. What's the 1 in 10 chance that by next show we will know 100% how many races Enerson will have? Missy, your final thoughts of something on this week's show?
About R.C. Enerson, or?
Yeah, from 1 to 10, I'm confident that by next week's show we'll know how many races we'll have. And also a 1 to 10 prediction on will we know where Pato is going to be.
R.C. Enerson, say 50-50 because Charlie Kimball's racing St. Pete, so we really don't need an answer by St. Pete.
Sure.
Okay, how about Pato?
Pato,
Right on.
My fingers are crossed, but I don't know. It's not looking good for the Indy Lights champion. Should be very disappointing.
I just need a 1 to 10.
5.
Right on. Two entirely different situations. One looks much weaker than the other, but however, they're both 5s. Christian, 1 to 10 on each.
Well, as far as Anderson being in the ride, like Missy said, we don't need an answer by St. Pete, so I'm going to give that a 6.
Okay.
And to the Pato situation, a 3.
Oh boy, really? You're not? Oh yeah. As much as I want to be as optimistic as possible, yeah, I'm like a 4 on the Pato and a 7 on the Enerson. Right on. So hey, everybody out there, I'll post a poll on Twitter with those 2 questions, and everybody answer them, and then next week we'll know the answer to at least the Enerson question. We'll know the answer to both, and we'll see who was more right and who was more wrong. How about that? That sounds like fun. Yay! Twitter polls are fun. Okay, so Christian needs to get on Twitter to even enjoy the festivities. Just can't believe you're still not, even though I lost the password to your Twitter name. But hey, it's still there. Alieso Racing. Just go there for the quick link to his book. And what book is that, Christian?
It's My Life and Story, The Outside Groove by Cosby Media Productions, forwarded by the legendary Willie T. Ribbs, available now on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Kodo, Walmart, and
other fine retailers.
That's right.
Nice. And
today.
And again, everybody, check out the poll on Twitter. I'll be posting it up tonight. And Missy, on that note.
And on that note, you know that I know that Frank, Christian, and everybody knows St. Pete is next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend, you know?